What up, all? Notseen Ninja here for another episode of
The Notseen Ninja Bathroom Book Club.
That's right. And this week I read Awaken Online, Precipice, the second book in the series, written by Travis Bagwell and read by David Stifel. And it was phenomenal. But first, let me read the synopsis. A few days have passed since Jason's confrontation with Alfred, and he's debating whether to re-enter Awaken Online. Alfred has made a proposition that Jason isn't certain he should accept. After the battle with Alexion, Jason has also been appointed the regent of the Twilight Throne. He must assume the mantle of ruling an undead city, with everything that entails. His first task is to investigate the dark keep that looms over the city's marketplace. This act will lead to a chain of events that might ensure his city's survival or create new enemies. Meanwhile, Alex re-enters the game listless and angry after his loss against Jason. With his reputation in the gutter and no prospects, he will face a choice regarding how he intends to blaze his path through the game. It took a couple paragraphs before I really got back into it. That's when I literally recalled everything that was going on. It took just a couple paragraphs to bring everything back, to reiterate what was happening in the previous book and catch us up to speed. And this book was just as good as the previous book. The premise is that it's an online game with the full VR and everything, and you can feel when you get hit and all that type of stuff. And our main character, Jason, he's been bullied his entire life, and now he's entered the game, and he has become a ruler because of his hatred for this Alex guy that has been bullying him. Alexion is his name in-game. And he basically takes revenge and ends up ruling an entire undead city. And that's what happened in the first book. And in this book, it continues on with that quest. There's still the hatred for him. There's still the hatred between the two of them, Alex and Jason. And if you're into online games, if you're into MMORPGs or RPGs in general, this is the book for you. It's a really good series so far. There's definitely going to be a third book based on how this ended. It didn't end abruptly, like you knew the ending was coming, but you were hoping there was more. But then you saw how few pages were left, and you're like, oh, I see what you're doing. You can give me another book. Not soon. Who knows when the third book is going to come out. These two books, the first one and this one, came out about 4 months apart, 5 months apart. So the hope is that it's already written and it's just waiting to be released. That way they don't release it all at once like Netflix. It's a good book. I definitely recommend getting into this one. There's a lot of character development that a lot happened in the first book, so you definitely, this isn't a standalone book by any means. You definitely should be reading the first one to even know what the hell's going on. Otherwise you will be lost almost instantly. But this one, there's a lot more twists and turns. There's a lot more creativity in the powers that Jason has that he didn't realize he had. Everybody's leveling up and being able to do even more cool things. And yeah, it's a good one. Precipice. It's the ruling of the undead city and how he does it, and still having to go on quests because he still has to level up. He has his minions, the zombies, the skeletons, all the stuff from the first book, except enhanced for this one. It's getting a 4.62 out of 5 on Goodreads, and it is very deserving of that. Just the character development alone deserves that higher rating. but then add in all the action and everything else and the way it's all detailed. There's very few boring parts in the movie. There's some times where they're just going from point A to point B. Those can be a bit slower. There's very few of those. A lot of the time when that's happening, you'll be pushed to the other character. And then when you come back to Jason and his group, they're already there. Alex faces his good versus evil. So he has to sort out which side he wants to be on while trying to get revenge for everything. This book includes everything. This book really has everything. A little bit of everything in it. So I recommend giving it a check out. Precipice, Awaken Online, book number 2. Read book number 1 first, but get to book number 2. Let's see if Goodreads knows if there's no third one coming out anytime soon. At least not that it's marked. But even the first one got a 4.53, and it was really, really well done as well. So give these a little read. Awaken Online, Catharsis, and Precipice. Highly recommended. Highly recommended. Yeah. Alright, so for next week, because we love talking about next week, I'm going to be reading Other Life Dreams, the Selfless Hero Trilogy. There's 3 books in that series, of course. That's why it's called a trilogy. It is getting a 4.08 on Goodreads, but we'll see how it is. It's another book along those same lines of a virtual world that everybody's in. But let's find out what happens. See y'all next week for Other Life Dreams.